All right, Philosophy Nation, March Madness is upon us, and the baseball season, it's back, MLB. And, of course, there's one guy that knows MLB better than anybody. He is Frank the Tank of Barstool Sports. Frank, it's great to have you on. It's an honor for us to have you on the podcast.
Yes. And today, Eric Adams says that the mandates are now gone. Kyrie can play for the Nets, and the Yankees could have their stars, and the Mets could have their stars playing. I've heard that the Mets have as many as 10 unvaccinated players.
Yeah. Frank, I was watching that thing today, and, I mean, what's mind-boggling about this is what they're really starting to talk about is Eric Adams getting lobbied by Steve Cohen and the power of the Yankees and the Mets, and how it's not fair that all these multimillionaires can now go out and play, but 1,400 unvaccinated sanitation workers, police officers, people that fight. What are your thoughts about today's thing? Because it's pretty crazy if you really think about it.
Well, first off, those 1,400 people should not have been dismissed. I think eventually sanity will reign. It might take 5, 10 years, but I think they'll win. I think those people who were fired will win a lawsuit of some sort eventually, and the city's going to owe millions. I mean, the vax mandates. I personally think you should probably get a vaccine. I've been vaccinated. I've had a booster, but there's some people who, for some reason or another, are not comfortable with it,
Right.
and it's gotten to the point now where the vaccine mandates have now become like aggressive. And when you get into that territory, it's the state and government should not go.
Absolutely. We look at it, it really is. It's so crazy because now all of a sudden, what's going to happen, right? You have the Brooklyn Nets. They paid $18,000 for lobbyists to get Kyrie back. That didn't work. So now everybody's starting to wonder, well, was Eric Adams?
Well, the Brooklyn Nets probably should have paid more for a lobbyist.
Oh, probably
get a better lobbyist.
Yeah, that guy.
If you're only paying $18,000, you're not paying enough.
Exactly. Look at who's on their roster. There, I think they could afford $18,000.
The fact that it was at Citi Field tells you Steve Cohen probably has a lot more sway than this lobbyist with $18,000.
Oh yeah, I think a check for 1.5 mil for a campaign is a little better than saying 18,000. Go have a conversation with the mayor.
I mean, it wasn't about health and safety protocols. I mean, the fact that a visiting player can come in unvaccinated and play.
Mind-boggling.
I mean, that's ultimately where this mandate had to go. Yeah. I mean, Frank, if you made a mandate that nobody can play in New York without a vaccine, that included visiting players. I mean, you might have had more movement earlier. You might have had more people forcing people to be vaccinated. The Mets and Yankees would probably have to get the shot and may not have the same standing. But the fact that it was this hypocritical that someone could come in and not be vaccinated for a visiting team and play on that same field made the mandate look silly.
Oh, it's crazy. Frank, you know some even more crazier? A couple months ago, you got to have all these screenings. You have to be vaxxed, have a mask, and have a negative COVID test. I'm at the Knicks game the other night on the court. Little girl next to us vomits everywhere. So in 2022, when you're in the middle of you're still in like a pandemic setting for some people. If somebody vomits, you think they should return back to the seats or they should be kicked out, right? They got to go home. They're visually sick. They let her come back.
Well, how young was she? Was she a little girl?
Like 10. I would call WFIN. Even Evan Roberts agreed with me. He goes, there's no way that you should, if you're visually sick, but Kyrie can't play in Brooklyn, but this little girl can go back to the seats. You're literally sick. Like everybody knows sick, and she's
probably go home if you're throwing up.
Yeah, like there's such a double standard, and it's insane. But
And
listen,
and the goal lines moved a billion times with this thing.
oh, it's insane. It's whoever it benefits. One thing it was for money, to get people to start coming back into New York, and I'm like, this isn't working. So now we got to up it so we could have our athletes play and all this crazy stuff that's going on. But
And then
listen,
then you have these the people out there that just want to keep the mask on forever. I find it funny that people like Howard Stern, who if he met himself, if the Howard Stern from 1990 met himself today, would despise himself and would be mocking him,
he'd hate
mocking
him.
the 2022
He'd call.
version.
He literally called everybody on his all of his listeners morons and that don't get vaccinated, don't do all this stuff. It's insane. It's
He
insane.
he did. You know, you either die young or you live long enough to become the villain.
Exactly, and that's what he's
And
becoming.
Howard Stern's become the villain.
Yeah.
He's he's sold out. I mean, he went to satellite radio, made bank, but he just the old Howard's gone.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Then the other like big things that you see with all of these people is I mean, social media, what a giant takeover it's got. And then you had KD who went after Adams, and Adams came right back down like, oh, we got to just kiss up to this guy. And that's all they've been doing. They've just been kissing his ass the whole entire time. But listen, enough with the vaccine stuff and all that. That stuff all happened. I really want to get your opinion on that. But you got arrested a couple weeks ago. We all saw your
Well,
vibe.
that was just maybe
I stand
just
for what
like.
you did. I stand. Listen, Rob Manfred is the biggest fraud. I met him one time. He goes like, "Hi." He goes, "My name's Dick." He goes, "You can call me Dick, not Rob." I'm like, what?
Was he trying to hit on you or something like that?
Who knows? I mean, he's a. I hope not. Be really weird. That beats like some Epstein shit. Um, but I loved what you guys did. Everybody was like sending it to me because they all knew we were getting on the podcast soon. So explain to me what exactly happened that day.
Well, it was more of just along the lines of just back off for now. We're gonna let you off with a warning, but I went out there and made my presence felt in front of Major League Baseball's offices, telling them that we want our game back and that Rob Manfred is a terrible commissioner. He doesn't like the sport. He doesn't respect the sport. And yet here we are again. We're gonna have the Ghost Runner. I mean, I think the Ghost Runner is now here to stay. I mean, we're gonna get 7 inning doubleheaders again too. I mean, this is not baseball.
It's terrible. It really is. I mean, it's not wiffle ball in your backyard. I mean, you look at all these past games, from even playoffs in like the 90s, like critical games between the Yankees and the Indians. There was no ghost runners on base. It's setting up teams. It's just like how the NFL's doing such a terrible job with their overtime rules. Nobody can ever get things right. And it's simple. And it's so stupid the way that people think. Um, what are the vibes like at the Barstool office about all this now? Because now everything's coming back. You pretty much, I mean, a lot of people give you a lot of credit. Everyone wanted you to become the next MLB commissioner. We saw that.
Well, maybe the vibes are mainly around the Sweet 16 tonight, and Big Cat's big bet that Duke is gonna bow out, and we're gonna see Coach K go away.
You think so?
You know, Big Cat's undefeated in those Game of the Year bets so far.
Could we get Big Cat in here to tell us about it?
I I think he's recording something right now.
Okay. Who do you have for March Madness?
Arizona.
Arizona. Okay, I had Kentucky at plus 850, and then that song by Coldplay, when St. Peter calls my name, they called my bracket away with how terrible that game was with Kentucky. St. Peter called away my bracket.
St. Peter's, jeez. We had Rutgers in the tournament. They went.
Listen,
We had Seton Hall did not even bother to even show up, and
the
St.
problem I have with
Peter's
Rutgers
gets to the Sweet 16.
Oh, the problem I have with Rutgers, every sport that they do, football, they beat Maryland. They're like, put us in a bowl game. We're 1-4, but we just beat Maryland. We should be nationally ranked.
I think it was so just.
I don't even.
Ridiculous.
I think Rutgers basketball is overrated. Also,
I like that how when they started when COVID started affecting teams and and potentially canceling bowl games. Rutgers goes, okay, yeah, we'll go out there. We're gonna get asses whipped. We don't care.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, well, we're so beautiful. Like we're the best team in New Jersey's ever seen. They're terrible.
Birthplace of college football. The birthplace of college football.
The birthplace, nothing is born there at all. The birthplace
No,
of
it
college
actually
football,
is.
Plan B. I know they did, but right now they're taking Plan B every time they step on the field, calling themselves the birthplace. Nothing's being born there. It's terrible. And like, listen, from Jersey, I
There's
hate
a
to say it, it's true.
team that is a joke. It is true. They cannot win. Rutgers, Rutgers, Rutgers. Oh, Rutgers football. It's a big joke. Finish last place in the Big Ten. Maybe win 2 games against FCS schools. Rutgers football. They really do blow.
Oh my god, that's and listen, my buddy, one of my best friends, Mike Higgins, he's a tight end at Rutgers. I'm praying Mike Higgins is going to be the savior at Rutgers for Rutgers. Kid's a beast. He's going to be a real savior there. But I told him I'm his agent. I go, Mike. I go, we sure we want to do this? He goes, yeah. He goes, we're going to do it. He goes, we're going to do good. I go, Mike, let's go. Let's win it. Frank at Barstool. All right. Everybody sees how Barstool with Portnoy, right? He's really starting to go a little political with a lot of stuff inside the Barstool office. Is it more of a Trump theme or is it more of a Biden side with the way you guys work on things? And how does Barstool survive in the cancel culture?
Well, I think what you have is you have some people here who are probably a little left leaning, and you have a lot of people who are right leaning. But mostly, it's a lot of libertarianism. Because libertarianism actually kind of is what we need.
Right. Right. Frank, when you explain to my viewers, because I know a lot of my viewers know who you are, but some people might not know. My friend Frankie Zito, we played mini golf with you. Um, Explain to me your start at Barstool.
Well, it started with that infamous New Jersey Transit rant.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, so they liked what they saw. They called me up. I was on a couple of shows, and they said I'll start working there part time, which I have, and then I went full time late 2020.
I love it. I love the tweet you guys had the other day. It was Mayor Eric Adams goes that he's gonna look to Mayor Light from Chicago for crime, and then Coach Doug tweets, yeah, and Doug and Frank are gonna be the new New York health officials. I cracked up laughing. I thought that was so great.
Chicago. She, she is dumb as a brick.
We can't give her that much credit, Frank. Frank, we can't Frank. Literally, we can't give her too much credit. We really can't. She's worse than cackling Kamala.
What gets me about her is the Chicago Bears are thinking of building a new stadium, which will be just outside of Chicago, not in Chicago, but outside of Chicago, in a town called Arlington Park, where a former racetrack is. But used to have horse racing, and horse racing tracks are closing, and most of it is there's going to be eventually there's only about 20 tracks in the country, and most of it's going to be watched over satellites. But in the old days, you had to actually go to the track. But this course in Chicago, Arlington Park, the Bears are buying it, and they want to build basically a stadium similar to what the Rams have for Chicago. Soldier Field, there's no spot to go tailgating. It's in a weird spot. It's off the lake. They get fog. It's actually even the NFL's smallest stadium. And the Bears want a bigger stadium. They renovated it 20 years ago, took the charm away from Soldier Field, took away all it used to be actually a nice looking stadium. Now it doesn't look good, and they took the charm away, and the Bears played at Wrigley Field, which was 100 years old. They played at Soldier Field, which is going to be 100 years old in a couple of years. The Bears deserve a new stadium. And Larry Lightfoot says, no, we'll just renovate Soldier Field again. And then she said that if the Bears want to move to Arlington Park, they cannot use the name Chicago in their name, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So we're going to call the Cowboys the Arlington Cowboys,
I
or the
listen.
Miami Dolphins the Miami Gardens Dolphins, or the Jets and Giants the New Jersey Jets and New Jersey Giants. Oh, how about this? How about we call the San Francisco 49ers the Santa Clara 49ers? And we could, while we're at it, we could call it the Irving Chargers and the Irving Rams.
It's crazy.
Most NFL teams do not play in the city they say. They are in suburbs.
Well, I mean, like I thought that the Washington Redskins, they went from the Redskins to the football teams down to
Oh
the
yeah,
They should have
yeah.
just went to the Washington Criminals for like Congress and all that. That's what they should have just picked.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's call them. Well, they're not in
right now
Washington.
there's no commander in Washington D.C. I don't care what anybody says. There's no commander there.
There's no Washington. There's no they're not in Washington. They're in Landover. So let's call them the Landover Commanders. By the Lori Lightfoot's logic. Oh, the Foxborough Patriots.
I mean, it is, Frank. It's so terrible. It's mind boggling how like crazy our country is becoming. How terrible things are. All right, so Frank, a big thing I've seen you guys do. You do a lot of taste testing there. Barstool is sponsored by High Noon. What's your favorite High Noon?
I don't drink alcohol.
Okay. What's the fan favorite there for everybody? Would you say?
I think they like the citrus one, whatever that is.
Yeah. All right. On BFF podcast, they play Mary Fuck Kill. So Frank, I'm gonna give you let's do 2 rounds of it, and I'll give you a couple people, and you can give me what it is. Except I'm gonna change it up. You're gonna be in charge of Barstool. All right.
All right.
You're the president of Barstool. Okay.
All right.
All right. Fire, promote. Okay. So you gotta fire and promote and marry. So you could fire somebody, promote, you can marry somebody. Actually, no, never mind. We're gonna do fire, promote, fuck. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna give you 3 people. So round 1, Alexandra Cooper, Big Cat, and Tommy Smoke.
Well, obviously you have to fuck Alex Cooper.
That's amazing. That's a great sound piece right there, Frank. That's fucking great.
Let's see. All right, fire and promote. I don't know if you could promote Big Cat any further. I mean, so and Tommy Smokes, he's kind of take charge guy. So maybe I had to promote him and promote him into Big Cat's job.
Okay, so Big Cat's getting fired. Frank the Tank's firing Big Cat. Everybody, there we go. All right, let's do. All right, our next one. All right.
Well, I sit next to Tommy Smokes. Come on.
Yeah, Tommy's great. I love him. I want him on the podcast. Man. You got to start showing us some tricks. Trying to get him in contact. All right. So again, fire, promote, fuck. Josh Richards, Brianna Chickfree, and oh my god, and Riggs.
Well, let's see. Well, I guess I'll go with the fuck of Brianna Chicken Fry. Okay. Let's see. Who are the other 2?
Riggs and Josh Richards. You know, does Josh Richards really count? He's not really in the office.
So no, he's never in the office.
All right, so Frankie Borelli.
All right. We'll promote Frankie Borelli into. Well, Riggs is not in the office either that often.
Yeah, I'm not a Riggs fan. I think that they cheat at golf. To be honest with you, Frank, there's no way they're that good.
Yeah, I'll definitely promote Riggs and definitely promote Borelli and definitely see Riggs.
Yeah, that's what I agree on that one too. Frank, when you look at baseball this year, what's going on with your Mets? Because I'll tell you what, my Yankees. Thank God they got rid of that garbage bag Gary Sanchez. Gary Sanchez was the biggest waste of space.
Did you hear that? Did you hear? He's lost 29 pounds.
Yeah, well, he also lost us our 28th and 29th World Series ring. So
And they said that he's I've already hit 6 home runs for the Twins, and he says that he's rededicated to baseball.
I don't believe it. I hate that guy. Frank, I will go to games. I'd boo him. Frank, he sucked. He was the Frank. What ball?
Did you see
He
last
sucked.
year in the Subway Series game?
Yeah, he sucks.
And
Helen Keller
and
could cut.
Jonathan VR is going to be out by 40 feet.
Yeah, he's terrible. I mean, I can't believe that Aaron Boone just didn't get rid of him quicker. Honestly,
Well, the Yankees right now do not have a catcher.
no. I'm worried about the Yankees. I mean, Josh Donaldson.
I think I'm going to give you my prediction right
career.
now. I think the Mets have a shot to make to win around 90 games.
Right?
Bold prediction: the New York Yankees have their first losing season in 30 years. 76 and 86.
I wouldn't be
76 and 86, and I think the Yankees actually are now at the point where they need a losing season.
Right.
To like jar them awake.
Yeah.
And get Brian, because Brian Cashman's the problem.
Cashman
become
sucks.
too comfortable.
He's
He's riding on his laurels, and Aaron Judge will be in Queens next year.
I don't know about the Queens. It all depends on how much money the Yankees try to throw at him. But I think Steve Cohen, he don't care. He's throwing money at everybody.
If Aaron Judge hits the open market,
Steve Cohen right now is like a teenager in a strip club. He's throwing money at anything that's shiny to him.
If Aaron Judge hits the open market, and the Mets have that money, they're gonna bring him just due to sit the Yankees, just to like
slap him up. Frank, I see the Miami shirt. The Jets suck. Zach Wilson, I'm telling you right now, everyone's talking about, Zach Wilson is going to be so good this year. Zach Wilson is single. He's a good-looking dude, and he's the quarterback of the New York Jets. Hoboken is about 30 minutes away from MetLife, 20 maybe. Zach Wilson don't care about throwing touchdowns on the field. Zach Wilson's going to be scoring touchdowns off the field. I don't know what the hell Jet fans are thinking of right now. One bit. There's no way Tyreek Hill's going to New York. He's going to Miami because of the state income tax, for one. First of all, they've got Dr. Doolittle down in Miami as the new head coach, who I think is going to be the biggest waste and the biggest blow up you've ever seen.
I don't have any confidence in that guy right now.
Okay, he is going to be like the Joe Biden of the NFL. He's going to blow up. He's going to be so terrible. Look at now, Brian Flores.
There's a coach.
He shot himself in the foot by using the Bill Belichick text messages. I'm telling you, that's why he's not in New England right now. That's why he's up in Pittsburgh and is going to be miserable because Pittsburgh's going to suck.
No. Pittsburgh's got a good defense.
Mitchell
Trubisky, that's an organization that always does it right. They don't have losing seasons.
Yeah. Now, here's the other thing. So, what is your thoughts, right? Tyreek Hill is going to Miami. Like I said, though, Miami's probably the best spot, but I don't think Tua is going to be able to hit him. Somebody goes, well,
then it's either Tua time or Tua time to go. I mean, if Tua can't succeed this year, he'll never succeed.
Yeah. Tua only ever showed us in college football one good half of football against Georgia in the national championship.
Well, if Tua can't have a good year, doesn't have a good year, then Dolphins will be shopping for a quarterback next year.
Again, maybe Josh Rosen comes back from the dead.
Well, that's never happening. And speaking of coming from the dead, there's another charge. It could be another grand jury trying to charge Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, this Deshaun Watson stuff is crazy, and this Baker Mayfield.
It's never going to go away.
No, I'm shocked. Listen, what I don't understand is, right, they talk about all this like women's empowerment, women this, women that. But the moment that one thing happens to some guy in the NFL, Roger Goodell looks like, I don't know what you really want me to do. Like, yeah, we're going to let him play. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, the NFL is the worst league in the world. People watch sports to get away from politics, and the NFL politicizes everything. Like, look at the Super Bowl.
Well, just think they ended racism by putting it on the back of their helmet and racism and putting it in the end zone.
Exactly. Morgan Freeman one time said that, he goes, how do you end racism? He goes, well, you get rid of Black History Month. He goes, that's racist just to celebrate one race for a month. Also, it's and I agree with that. I think that every day everybody should be celebrated. And the NFL is the worst at it because it's like, well, what if this happened to Baker Mayfield? They wouldn't make him do a giant big thing. Look at Johnny Manziel, all the stuff he did. They just kind of like let him go. He got all of his money, they just let him go. Now Deshaun Watson, the NFL, their hands are tied completely. And what they're doing to Baker Mayfield is terrible.
Well, he must have pissed somebody off.
Had to. I think he should be with the Giants. I think Baker's going to go to the Giants. I mean, listen, the Giants have a chipmunk right now in Brian Dable running the show. And I don't think that's the best hire in the world at all. I think they should have got Josh McDaniels or somebody like that. But, what do I know? I'm just a fan.
Yeah, we'll see how everything goes.
Listen, I just hope that, I never want to wish anybody to get hurt, but if Patrick Mahomes could never play football again, I wouldn't care because we get to get rid of his wife and his brother with that. I mean,
did you see that Jackson Mahomes is going to do TikToks with the Juju Smith-Schuster?
Oh, it's going to be. That's why Tyreek Hill left. He saw that. He goes, nope, I don't want any part of this.
And it's a first down for the Chiefs. Here comes Jackson and James. Yes, that's right.
It's going to be crazy, Frank. Frank, you're a pretty big mini golfer, I heard, too.
Yes.
What's your record with mini golf?
I'm getting better.
Yeah. When are you going to be on the BFFs podcast?
Have to invite me. I don't know. I don't know. One of these days I'll be on there.
All right, I got to ask. Listen, I'm going to go a little off top here. A lot of my viewers, everyone, they're all obsessed with Alexandra Cooper. What's she like in person?
I've only met her a couple times, but she's nice.
Yeah. What about the other one? The other one was terrible. Sophia, whatever. I hate when people have the name Sophie or Sophie. It's like,
yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah, she's terrible. Frank, that's kind of the end of the podcast. I really don't have any other questions for you. It was a fun time. Listen, we've been trying to do this thing since July. We finally got it to go, and I think everything happens for a reason. We got it to go today. The day of the MLB stuff all happened. Is there any questions you got for me? That's what I ask all my guests, like Bob Menery, Ian Eagle, all those guys.
Nope.
All right.